All right, so Medicine Mez, part 6, last and final session. We'll just go ahead and pick it up. Simple, delicious, and satisfying is the med way. So we've already been through change your protein, swapping your fats, eating more fruits and vegetables. That was together. We also did snacking on nuts and seeds. I believe what would have been week 2 or session 2, along with the swap your fats. And then last week we did making your grains whole. We did a little pasta dish, the cabbage pasta and pepper. And then rethink your sweets. Rethink your sweets is our last and final tip or step in eating the Midway. So what does Rethinking Your Sweets institute? So remember I showed you the cooking or the nutrition facts panel, the label last week, and I wanted to emphasize that they put for you on the new label added sugar intake. So the goal is for everything you buy, the goal is for it to be zero. We don't want a lot of added sugar in the products that we eat. Now, as we can see on the screen, a lot of the things you see here, it's fruit. It has natural sugar or what we call fruit sugar, fructose. So we have a little strawberry water there. It looks like infused. And then that's what we call on the left there. If it's showing on the left on your screen or the screen that you're on, it is going to be a fruit shot. On the website, it's spelled CHAAT, which is technically chat, but it is pronounced shot. They have it in a lot of Indian cooking and things like that. So sugar, could it be making us sick? So it can lead to tooth decay. In very, very high amounts, it can be a contributor to heart disease as folks start to gain more weight. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, diabetes, of course. And then you know what comes behind diabetes, a lot of times high blood pressure and high cholesterol and things like that. Obesity, metabolic syndrome. So it could lower your good cholesterol, which is your HDL, and then your LDL. And HDL, let me make sure I get this right. Nutrition student on the call, former nutrition student on the call. Just make sure I stay in line. Yeah. So HDL, let me make sure I get this right. High lipodensity protein.
That's correct.
Okay. And then LDL, low lipodensity protein.
Also correct.
Okay, all right. What right. More belly fat. It could contribute to more belly fat, which is kind of what I call the old man syndrome. You start to develop the gut and stuff like that, but that does not have to happen. Gout. I think I mentioned before, I have an uncle who he used to walk a lot, and then he started watching what he ate, and he lost a considerable amount of weight, and his gout actually stopped bothering him. Mm. It actually subsided for a while until he got hurt, and then he couldn't really do anything, and it came back. But speaking of gout inflammation, that's essentially a form of inflammation. Added sugar. All sugar is used as ingredients in processed and prepared foods. Sugar is used to make breads, cakes, soft drinks, jams, chocolates, ice cream, pasta sauce. Can you believe that? Sugar is eaten separately or added to foods at the table. That's a lot of where added sugar comes from. A lot of it, I see people consume it in the forms of soft drinks, cakes, or what I call bakery sweets. Ice creams or milkshakes, and then indirectly really bread, because when you think of bread, you know the yeast have to eat the sugar in order to produce carbon dioxide, get the rise and all that stuff. However, you don't really realize how much sugar is incorporated into a bread product. Or if you look on the back, kind of going off track a little bit, the salt, how much salt they add to bread products in order to achieve the final product. Sugar found naturally in food. We have milk, which produces lactose, sugar molecule, and then of course we talked about fructose with that fruit. Those are natural sugars. Sugar makes us feel good for the time being anyway. When we eat it, we got to have it. And then as soon as we have it, they go ahead and drop us. So it tastes good. How many of you had a sweet tooth? You ain't got to answer out loud, but you can type in the chat box, you know. Okay, we got a raising of a hand. Now, as a kid, personally, I didn't really have a sweet tooth. I was a real food kid. I was a real food. It's as I became an adult, I had to watch out because for some reason it kind of grew on me. My mom had a sweet tooth, and I guess it kind of grew on me. I don't know. The average American consumes about 152 pounds of sugar per year. All right, I got a hand raised. Let's see here. Unfortunately, I do. Okay. Was the hand raised for I do too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The average American consumes about 152 pounds of sugar per year. Can you believe that? Wow. Wow. Not so much. I enjoy my natural fruit though. All right, y'all see how many domino bags of sugar? That's the classic bag right there, domino. Man, 26 to 30 is what folks might be consuming if we talk about a day. Uh-oh.
What?
So on average, some soft drinks have, so think about 13 to 15. Some of those soft drinks might have 13 to 15 teaspoons. All right.
Yeah.
3 times the recommended amount is what a lot of folks are taking in nowadays. The recommended amount, so we got 6 teaspoons for what they usually say women, and then what is it, 9 teaspoons for men. But I just don't. I really think you can minimize that to almost. I mean, if you're talking about added sugar, hardly any. Just look at your labels. I mean, we know that we're gonna have fruit sugar, fructose. That's inevitable. I mean, you know, if you drink milk, you're gonna have lactose. Even if you drink a milk alternative, that's where I would actually be concerned about added sugar. If you start drinking a lot of the milk alternatives, like the other types of milk, almond milk or soy milk and things like that. Just pay attention to what they're adding in order to achieve that nice, rich, sweet taste is what I call it. 43% soft drinks is where the sugar in America is coming from. See, that's the main one. If folks could lay off soft drinks alone, they might see a little bit of progress in some of their dietary habit goals. Grain-based desserts, candy. You know, kids start young. We actually start with kids. You know, candy, I want candy. And then desserts and flavored milk, like the chocolate milk. Things like that. So 6 to 9 teaspoons of added sugar is where you need to kind of be. Recommended intake, they give you a little range, which they say women should be about 6 to 7, men should be about 8 to 9. It just depends. It really depends. Of course, I'm a little guy, so I definitely don't need to be up the upper limit there at 9 teaspoons of added sugar. All right, yep. And that's exactly what I was talking about. I'm kind of one step ahead of each slide today. Too much of a sweet thing can be a bad thing, right? 15 teaspoons of added sugar in this particular 20-ounce soda I think they sell that right around the corner from the apartment complex, in all honesty. But of course, I have not really been into a convenience store in a while. 23 teaspoons actual added sugar consumed by your average American per day. Can you believe that? 23 teaspoons. Wow. Would you sit down and eat that?
No.
Probably not. 74% of processed foods contain added sugar and are salt on our palate. Now, where is this aisle? It's on the inside, right? Now, as a nutrition educator, we're trained to try to shop on the outside. On the outside, that's right, on the outside. Okay. Used to be 120 hours. Oh, wow. Okay. We got some folks going back to the old days up there. All right. Okay. Yeah, we do kind of. And then what happens, y'all, when we make a habit of consuming these things? Our palate. Let's go back to that slide. Not only is it an assault on our palate, but our palates get used to that sugary food. It gets used to it just like salt. If we continue to consume salty foods, eventually we're going to become numb to it, like any other habit. And then sugar does something neurologically up here. You know, you want to achieve that same You want to achieve that, so you got to, you got to eat more. You got to eat. So sugar by other names. Now, last week I think we saw high fructose corn syrup. We saw dextrose. We might have saw sucrose, corn syrup, and things like that on some of those labels. Here you have some other names that they use on the labels. Then you have they haven't really put, doesn't look like they really put sugar alcohols up there. We'll get into that. Is regular sugar better than high fructose corn syrup? Is honey okay? Is agave healthy? Sugar in the raw, is that okay? All right, so we're gonna kind of walk through these. If you are familiar with fructose, that particular molecule, then you know that it is actually one of the sweetest of the sugar molecules, if not the sweetest. When you have that molecule in high quantities, that's essentially what they do to high fructose corn syrup. They drive up the amount of fructose so it can be really, really sweet. Therefore, you technically don't need a lot of it, but we do see it in our food items. Is honey okay? Honey definitely is more of a natural product, or it should be. So it's produced by a bee, but let's not forget that it is very sweet. It has been shown, as far as the sugar amount, the amount of sugar molecules, it can be the equivalent of just taking in sugar. However, your honey does have the other properties with it that regular what we call sucrose, table sugar, might not have. Is agave healthy? It could be an option, but just remember, looking at the label, you got to look at the label and read it. Sugar in the raw, is that okay? I would definitely say those grains of sugar in the raw are definitely bigger. I can see it takes about 2 or 3 granules of regular sucrose to make one of those big granules of sugar in the raw. A lot of times it has the molasses already in it, right? They haven't removed that much of the molasses because raw sugar is not white. That's essentially what they do to get your table sugar, but sugar in the raw, some places they call it turbinado sugar, things like that, closely relatable. They are, excuse me, got a sneeze coming, I'm trying to hold it back. They are both brown. What about monk fruit or erythritol? All right, so I'm not really familiar with monk fruit, but I'm familiar with erythritol. If you can describe monk fruit, Never have really seen it. I'll have to do a little bit of research and return on that. But erythritol, that is a sugar alcohol. What we do know, in high amount sugar alcohol can upset the GI tract. We'll get a little, when we get a little further along, we'll talk about more about those. But just realize that a lot of times, especially in American society, when we find something that may be kind of like our, I don't mean no harm, but our saving grace, like sugar alcohols, when they came out, they were all the rage. We have to watch how we consume those. In high amounts, they could be detrimental. And they're still doing studies on how they affect the body. Now, one way I know for sure is that they can upset the GI tract if you're not careful. In some studies, they have tried to link it back to certain diseases. I don't believe that they built up the wealth of evidence that we need to be like, no, this causes this. Of course, we know they have to look at sample size and the actual accuracy of the studies. But we'll get more into sugar alcohols as we go. And monk fruit, I'll have to do a little bit more research and return on that. All right, we see the label here. I ain't gonna keep flashing. You do see sugar listed on the very right in the peanut butter. We know that's probably what that is, peanut butter. And then you see the bread. You see sugar less than 1 gram as far as added sugar. Total carbohydrates, 13 grams. I think that's that's some type of sauce up there, tomato sauce. You see it actually has 10 grams of sugar. Wow. Okay, and in the middle there, wheat thins, looks like they have 3 grams of sugar. So the cereal, actual cereal, less than 6 grams sugar per serving. Now, do y'all remember what we talked about last week and with the grains? Eating them in the most simple form that we can is probably the best way that you can consume a grain rather than an option that has been refined. Less than 5 grams of sugar per 100 calories. So there you have a little bit of a choosing. Let's see here. New label. Of course, we just said added sugar is included on the new label. Includes 10 grams if you look at on the right according to the new label. 10 grams of added sugar. Wow. Beware of marinades, sauces, dressings. Many are very high in sugar. What do you see on this particular label that's highlighted? The ingredients list. You can type it in the chat box. Tell me what you see. Monk fruit. I don't remember that.
Uh-oh.
Let's see, high fructose. Oh, we got some folks coming in. All right, so I see corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup,
Sugar.
corn syrup, and sugar. And too many sugars, including molasses.
Molasses.
Lots of sugar and salt. Yep. Corn syrup. Yep. There's a lot of things in there. Now, as a kid growing up, molasses was not just something we put in a baked good, but we used to have something. We used to have what we called biscuits and molasses, and we would just dip it straight in molasses. And I didn't really know until I got to college that, hey, I probably shouldn't really be doing that. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes every now and then, a couple times a year, I'll do it as a little treat. But that's something that I know I can't have all the time. So what's the solution? You can make your own marinades. You can make your own dressings, knowing that the other dressings may contain added sugar products. And one way you can cut it out is just don't drink sugar. So we know we have some type of cola product here on the left. Sweet tea looks like some type of fruit juice in the middle, maybe orange juice or something of the sort, maybe some pineapple juice. Today we'll have mango as a part of our smoothie. So that's a good option to really sweeten naturally your, your smoothie. And we have some type of flavored, like flavored water there. Then, of course, a coffee drink. Man, those coffees, man, not only could they be high in fat, you go someplace and get the largest one, you get something high in fat, and then it has a boatload of sugar, especially something like a mocha or something like that, and you really out for the count. Liquid calories versus food calories. All calories are not created equal. All right? All calories are not created equal. Mm-hmm. People say, oh, just calories ain't count. No, what you eat has certain lack of benefits and certain benefits with it. So being liquid calories, that's you essentially just drinking sugar mixed with water, sugar water. And then food calories, of course, even if you eat a fruit, you get some of what we call the fiber or roughage with the fruit. And then you get the added minerals and vitamins along with that fruit as well. And the vegetables a lot of times, as far as the roughage goes. 17 in this particular cola here. Really look like Coke, if I'm being honest. 17 teaspoons. Can you imagine somebody drinking one of those? Okay. That's a no. 16 grams. Man, I remember growing up with that sweet tea, and it was like drinking syrup when we made it at home. That's not something you want, and it cleans. It can clean it. That's a good one. That's a good one. Save it for the toilet, I guess. Save it for the toilet. But sweet tea, I guess that was one of the last things that I kind of just, you know how you have that last dollar bill, you just don't want to give up. Sweet tea and lemonade was kind of like my last. I was like, Dad, if I strip that away, they ain't gonna say I grew up in North Carolina at all. They gonna think I grew up somewhere else. So I drink it every now and then, but we don't buy it here at the house. It's more like somebody has it at a gathering. Yeah. Ginger flavored green tea, yes. Cranberry lime soda. Maybe you guys, I think it's still up. You can go back and watch the kombucha video of us making kombucha. Flavor your water with fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Yay! Try iced herb tea without sweetener. Maybe you could try cucumber water, citrus water, things like that. We even have a part of our Color Me Healthy curriculum. We even have the kids tasting it. They like the little, sometimes they like the lime water. We do cucumber and stuff like that. Lemon, that's one of their little favorites there. This slide right here in particular, when I ask people what they eat for breakfast, the one on the left is a big favorite that we just need to break. We just need to stop it. These prepackaged, oftentimes breakfast time. Now, some people have these during the day and stuff like that, but those little packets, man, they pack a wallop of added sugar. And some folks, they don't just have one, they have two. With this oatmeal with fruits and nuts, we have that as a part of a recipe as well. 0 grams of added sugar. Now, of course, if you want to be technical about it, you're adding the fruit sugar with the fruits. But what do we say fruits have with it? The vitamins and minerals to back it up. It does have that going for it. All right. Just get regular oatmeal and sweeten it yourself with the natural fruit sugar. 11 grams were added. This is another one. They were like, yeah, I had the yogurt, but I had that, that one with the fruit down at the bottom. And I said, oh, no. 11 grams of added sugar, almost 3 teaspoons. All right. 0 grams of added sugar in the one on the right. Okay. Add your own sweetener. Use less or use just fruit. Okay. 11 grams of added sugar on the left. Once again, 0 grams added sugar on the right. Now this one right here, this is one of the recipes, one of maybe 3 recipes. I can't even remember the other 3. I'll probably know them when I see the picture. But this is one that kind of had to grow on me, y'all. Because if you use Greek yogurt, it's already a little bit more bitter. So it's, for me, when I tasted this and we used the plain Greek yogurt, I was like, that's an acquired taste for me. But nevertheless, I think the cucumber kind of, yes, it's so tart. It kind of cut the taste for me. And then the sea salt, I just didn't want to do a lot of sea salt and stuff. That's kind of extending my palate a little bit. Break your sugar habit. What are some things you could do? Assess your sugar. You have to look at where your points are. If you know that your weak points are sugar, sweetened beverages like sweet tea, Coca-Cola, and things like that, then we need to start. Okay, if you know it's the bakery, then don't walk by the bakery. Go the other way. Allow yourself small sweets so that you don't feel deprived and become more likely to overconsume. Because what happens when we try to break a habit, y'all? We try, grit our teeth, and then we end up, whoop, boom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Buy high sugar foods in small quantities. Think quality, not quantity. Use the natural sugar and fruit to calm your sugar cravings. A lot of times nowadays, for me, when I consume something like what you see on the screen, like a sugar treat, is what I call it. That's an outing. It's a true treat. And stuff like that. It's more associated with the outing or community. So if I go out with people, we go out downtown, we walk, say, hey, you want to pop in to so and get, and then you get it, and you might divide it with them just to cut the cost and also cut the intake and stuff like that. That's a strategy that I use, and I don't buy sweets and put them in the house. Break your sugar habit. All right. Remember when I said, we can go for the highly processed item, or we can go for the item in its more natural form. This recipe on the right is on the website. We've actually done this as a part of the last and final session like we are in today. We have done it. Microwave baked apple. It's pretty good. We've just done them in the oven. You poke a hole and go through with like a little apple core and you stuff it. And it's usually, oh, bless you, dog. And you stuff it and it's usually pretty good. It's pretty sweet, kind of falls apart on you. So what about artificial sweeteners? Let's see. As I've said before, they have their place and they could be an alternative for not adding calories. If you're purely trying to look not to add the calories, they could be a calorie cutter. However, just know that too much of something that was designed to be a calorie cutter, as far as that, it's a good thing, right? We do have to watch it and not over consuming, because they're still heavily doing research on exactly what they do to the body. I know they were talking about sucralose and saccharin and things like that. They've done a little bit of research on those. Mindful and the Med Way, simple steps for mindful physical activity. This is something that I know that I have really embraced this physical activity. Um, Exercise has always been one of my big things that I champion and stuff like that. If it's nothing but a walk in the evening, a couple miles maybe around the block, you walk the dog, um, and stuff like that. Why is being active so important? Why? Tell them in the chat box. Tell them in the chat box. Mm-hmm. All right, we got some good things. Good blood flow. Yeah. Strengthens your bones. Woo, structure. Okay. Makes you feel good. Yeah. Controls weight. Yeah. Input equals output. You have to work off when you eat unless those calories will be okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Helps you sleep. Yep. Sleep improvement. You guys named a lot of the stuff that's up here. Mood improvement, disease prevention, disease management, stress management. Yep. Weight management, better sense of being. Stress reliever, burns, bone health. Current and future mobility. That's one of the things I'm always preaching. Oh, went backwards. Is just mobility. The more you move, the more you're able to retain. Pain management. Be aware of how you move your body throughout the day. Okay? Are you moving enough? Are you moving too little? Utilizing your opportunity. If you have improved digestion, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I said, well, y'all, the more you move, the more you be regular now. You be regular. Along with a healthy diet. And it just improves your overall digestive system. Exercise allows everything to work properly. If you never run a car, what is it gonna do? Some parts are gonna rust. Some things are gonna turn from substance like gasoline to water. Okay, so you don't move your body. Things start to get a little bit out of sync. Things start to build up, residues start to build up, things like that. Just like a car, we have to move. Our body is meant to move, stuff like that. Do something you enjoy. All right. When you see the folks have their camping, looks like backpacking gear on. My buddy just invited me to go camping. At the end of May, we'll see what everything looks like. Maybe we'll be able to get out there and do a little walking. One of my friends, actually the same buddy, his roommate, he wants to do backpacking. So we'll see what happens. But I like to hike. I like to do camping and stuff like that. I remember the running joke was that brothers don't camp, but I like it. I like it, man. I like it. So that's something you could do. I like to go outside. Now everybody thinks I like running, especially my Navy guys, and when I'm in the reserve, they think I like running, but I really don't like it. I'm just enough to be proficient at it or efficient. I'm just enough to be efficient, but I can't deal with mosquitoes. I hear that. I hear that. They love me too, but I have to put my stuff on, man. I gotta be out there. Yeah, stuff. I got into fly fishing lately, so that gets me out there. And in fly fishing, you're always moving. You're always walking the bank. You're always moving, so you get a little bit of physical activity. And I like weights, so I try to do that. Let's see. Be positive. Do you have a workout partner? Do you have someone that you like to go out and do things with who can encourage you? We can say you're doing a good job, boost your morale, things like that. Do you have that? Anybody got that? Yes, no, maybe so. I really, my roommates, they kind of wanted to, get on the train too, but they fall off the wagon too much for me. Uh, I don't know what happened. They kind of just, I guess because naturally, y'all, when I was in the office and I got off from work, um, and stuff like that, I actually gained energy when I got to the gym. I gained energy. I don't know what it is. Like all of a sudden, I turned it on and I gained energy. But a lot of people don't do that. They don't do that. Um, you know, be in the moment and focus on how your body feels. You want to pay attention to how your body feels. What we call perceived rate of exertion. Is it, can you talk when you're doing it? No, however, when the gyms were open, I had lots of people to exercise. Yeah, we do lose our little gym buddies, and stuff like that when we leave. Uh, I'm taking, I'm going to grad school at UNCG, taking a few courses at a time, so I was able to use that little gym and stuff like that. Not little, but state of the art now. So I was able to use that, and I was like, hold on, I didn't know you were here. Then you get a little workout buddy. So enjoy the benefits of being physically active. Um, so this is what we need. This is what we need. Okay, did I do that? I think I put those little marks up there. I hope not. All right. Nevertheless, I think you guys can still see. 150 minutes every week, moderate intensity aerobic activity, brisk walking. 75 minutes every week, vigorous intensity aerobic activity, jogging or running. Muscle strengthening 2 or more days a week that work all major muscle groups. Yesterday, I did a little jump rope workout. I love to jump rope. Not only is it good to get the heart rate up, but it can also be good if you would like to get a little bit of what we call foot coordination. Um, I'm still keeping up my habit even without the, yeah, amen, amen. All right. Got some folks still at it. Well, even greater health benefits, you can double it for each. That's when you start to see increased, you got to start to see increased muscle mass. If you're working those weights, you start to see increased aerobic capacity. This is where you would have to start doing if you want to accomplish a goal of maybe running a 5K, 10K, up to a half marathon. And then beyond that, if you're talking about running marathons, maybe even half marathons, you really want to be on a training regimen. I don't know if you guys have any of those goals. But before we had the race called the Rugged Maniac, me and my unit, and we would run, we would do that. We would just run it for fun, but they always loved to see the pull-up contest because they would throw me in the pull-up contest. And so I would always have a little goal leading up to it. So talk test, that's something you can do to test how much you're exerting towards your exercise. You should be able to sing if it's light intensity. Moderate intensity, you should be able to carry a conversation. Vigorous, you should become winded. Out of breath, you might be able to utter a word or two. Some folks, they like to take their VO2 max, which is measuring your volume of oxygen that you have at a certain rate of exertion. Sometimes they like those. How many pull-ups would you do? I'm gonna just type it in the chat box. As far as I know, 37 pull-ups. All right. I ain't even gonna type it. It's okay because y'all won't see it anyway. 37 pull-ups is what I got at my peak when I was at the competition. And then 37, I think, is still the record for the race. So I remember being in line the last time, I only got like 33. And one of the guys was like, man, you hear about that dude that did 37 pull-ups? I didn't even tell him it was me. I didn't even say anything because I didn't want them to be like, we got to do this, we got to do that. But yeah, the more you do, the more efficient you'll become at it. 100 push-ups I saw you do the other day. Yep. I try to do, that's my Navy PRT test. I try to do at least 100 push-ups to make sure I get the maximum. Because my run is a little weaker, y'all. I had to pad that score. All right. Add a little strawberry infused water, cucumber citrus water, cranberry lime soda, ginger flavored green tea, microwave baked apples, cucumber, olive oil, sea salt, yogurt. Now the recipe that we're going to be using, I'm just doing an rendition of that recipe. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. But you can go to Meds and see that particular recipe. But I'm gonna keep going. I haven't done this one yet. The peanut butter and apple slices sandwich. But this one right here, banana granita with blueberries. That one is pretty good. It's just pretty much ground up. You blend it up, create a smooth, not small, but smooth consistency with your banana. I think you add a few more things in there too. Maybe like a little milk or something like that. And then you freeze it. It's kind of like a little Italian ice. Yes, please try it. And then you put your blueberries. I like for my blueberries to be fresh, not frozen when they go on top. But nevertheless, I like that happy medium between cold blueberries, but not frozen. Yo, that's a good one. Fruit shot, that's a good one too. And then this one is good for, believe it or not, sweet potatoes are really good in this. It does incorporate sweet potatoes, but that's something, a little, I guess, treat you can have in the fall when you have your little gatherings. Because that's when everybody kind of thinks about sweet potato as well. Yep, okay, raisin. You can do ant on a log or, yep, with that particular combo right there. Those coconut crunch stuffed prunes, we've done those. Yeah, a lot of people are not a big fan of the prunes, though. I don't know. I did it with dates here at the house, and people loved it. Yeah, that pretty much concludes what we have as far as our last session. I have to do research on monk fruit and things like that because it does help having a bit of a nutrition background. I haven't went to school because once you familiarize yourself with the food item, you can kind of pick it apart and stuff like that. So I'll try to because I'm curious and I'm an inquisitive person, so I want to dive into that. So monk fruit is on the list, as my niece could say, dun, dun, dun. It's about to happen. All right, so I am going to turn the screen around. Thank you. Yes. Let's see here. I have to email you, Lisa. Let's see here. Stop the share. And y'all can see me. Hopefully, when I move, this doesn't go out. Okay. Can y'all see the table? Can y'all see what's going on? All right, so I have all my stuff right here laid out. I just laid it out right before. I'm gonna set this here. I'm glad Gisela, I know that they had the ninjas at the place before. And I really like this Vitamix because it doesn't matter which way you turn it. I like that. I'm gonna go over and wash my paws, and then we will go ahead and get started. Let me see. I do like, yeah, I think we can get some more of these. So I'm gonna use some. Nice. Okay. All right, folks. Because I know people are gonna go back and watch these, I'm gonna insert my little hands in some gloves. Uh-oh. Sometimes these things are not the best. And you would think for a little guy, I'm not struggle to get meat. I think these are medium. I can't remember. These gloves on my hand, but yeah, it's good to have gloves in general these days because you could not have any. So what I like to do, all right, I'm gonna give it a little test. Yep, there we go. Today I have for you, I have spinach. Oh, I spilled a little bit out. I won't use that. I like to be goofy too. But there's the spinach. We have a strawberry mango mix. Okay, there we go. I do have on your recipe sheet, whenever you look up that recipe, I'll see if I can type it in the chat box when we finish if I need to answer the question. But here I have walnuts and I have some ground up flax seed. Yeah, the dog trying to figure out what's going on. All right, here we go. All right, this is Greek yogurt here. I got the, I think non-fat plain. That is the bitter of the bitter of the tart. And then of course a handy dandy banana. I like to usually add my thickest ingredients first, and my roughage is probably gonna be my thickest on my spinach. So I'll go ahead and take top off, and I'll go ahead and add it in there. I'm dropping spinach leaves all over the place. The good thing is it's not detrimental to old buddy. All right, so now that I have this going, I'll just use that as my trash bowl, if I have any trash. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the peel started on that guy. And while I peel, that up. All right. I can go ahead and spin this guy. Let me pause right. Add that in there. I just like to see it grind up and hear that sound, in all honesty. I'll throw that in there. All right. Let's see if we can get a strawberries in there. And it's about, all right, I'm gonna stop it. So that's about a cup each fruit. Maybe 3/4 of a cup to a cup. Just one medium banana. I'm go ahead and put that in the trash bowl there. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm gonna get this in here and not bojangle around on y'all. There we go. Got that in there. And those are strawberries and mango. I'll go ahead and add my little ground up nuts and flaxseed. And last but not least, yogurt. And yogurt always kind of flops, so I brought a spoon in order to get whatever flops and get around the edge of there. A 1, a 2, a 3. There we go. Let's see here. Should I? You know what? I'll put it on first. I'll do that. And then I'll mash it down if I need to mash it on the side like that. Got my little wand here.
Off there.
Mm.
Shoot.
All right, I'm gonna get a good grind. Shut that off. I always forget sometimes. I will bring out a nice handy dandy mason jar. I'm gonna have something to put it in because I'm definitely gonna drink this later. So we have a little bit there. Okay. I ate lunch, but hey, I can always eat. Now that's a thick one, but it's good. All right, I'm going to stop recording